Hi folks, just wanted to show you how the page report package works. We're really excited about it. We think it'll help you to make really nice looking reports really easily directly from R. So after you've installed the package, you can just go to New File, RMarkdown, and if you go to From Template, there are going to be some options here. I've installed other packages, so I've got other options, more than you might have. There's Page Report Windmill. If I scroll down, for some reason they're showing up in different places, but I've also got Page Report Grid and Page Report Hazelnuts. They're just named after the images that are on them. So I'm going to do Page Report Grid. Let me go ahead and save this. So I'll just call this Grid. And let me go ahead and knit it and show you what it looks like. All right, once I knit it, you can see that I have an HTML version as well as a PDF version. I'm just going to open up the PDF version. So this PDF version, you can see, has one of the templates. This is the grid template. It's got a sidebar here. It's got just kind of decoration here. This is a logo. It's got title, subtitle. Obviously, I haven't changed anything, so this is just the default. You'll see it might have some weird lines around it. That's just a thing on Mac Preview. If you open it up in a different PDF viewer, it won't have that. And so you can see the basic template. Now, the idea with Page Report is that you can easily customize this so that it meets your needs. Let me show you how. You can see, first of all, there is a main color option here. So I could change this. I'll do a different color using a text expander here to get an orange that I use. Let me go ahead and knit that and let's show you what it looks like. All right, I've knitted this now, and you can see the sidebar as well as this dot grid is now changed to that orange. We can also change the fonts that this report uses. If you want to change the fonts, there are two options. You can either use a font that you have locally on your system, or you can use a Google font. If you do want to use a Google font, you just need to add Google Font True, Google-Font True. And then you can add main font and give it the name of a font. I'm going to use one called Caveat, which is a really distinctive one. You'll see when I knit it, so we can make sure that it works. I'll go ahead and knit. So we're looking at the report now, and I've zoomed in a bit so you can see here is the text. So that's using this Caveat font from Google Fonts, and you can see it's very distinctive, so we know it worked. You can also change the logo. So let me go ahead and show you how that works. You replace this, which is the default logo, it's actually the R for the rest of us logo, with another logo. Let me go ahead and knit this and you'll see how it works. All right, so I've knitted this and you can see the logo has now changed to the R logo. You can do that for any logo that you have access to. Ideally, it would probably be one for your organization. You also have the ability to change header fonts. So you can see those have not changed from the default. Only the main kind of text font has. If we want to do that, we would just use header font. And let me use that Caveat as well. Again, just because it's very distinctive so we can make sure it works. All right, so I've opened my PDF back up and you can see, yep, definitely changed the font there on our headers. Let me go ahead and show you another template. So this one is called Windmill, right here. So I'll go ahead and save this. Just call it Windmill. Let me go ahead and knit it and show you what the default version of this looks like. All right, so here is the Windmill template. You can see this one has a background image on the cover, title, subtitle, author name, date, and a logo here. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but it looks pretty decent. All right. And it has a back cover then with the logo as well. So there are a few things you can change with this. You can change the front image. So I have downloaded an image, trees.jpg, which I will keep. And then I'll also change the logo here. So you will see what this logo is in just a second. Let me go ahead and knit this. All right, looking at this report now, you can see the background image has become that trees image that I set. And the logo has now changed to that R logo, which is what I added before. If I scroll down to the back, you'll see that that R logo is added here as well. You might have noticed there are a couple things, a couple additional options here. So there's image to dark. What that does is if you look on the front cover, it just darkens that image slightly, which makes the white text pop and just be a bit more readable. I'm going to actually change it to false just so you can see what it's like without that. The other one is image to white. What that does is it converts this image to a exclusively white color. And that's helpful, again, just to make it show up a little bit better. If you actually look at the image originally for this R logo, this is actually what it looks like, right? Like here's the URL. But I put it here, and using image to white true, it just made it all white. I'm going to actually change this to false, which will mean that it won't make it to white. And let me knit this again. And while that's knitting, the one thing I'll say is that image to white only works if you're using an SVG image. If you're using a PNG, a JPEG, something else, it's just not going to work. All right, I'm looking now at my report, and you can see now this trees image here. You can see exactly right here how it makes the white text a bit hard to read. So again, that's why that image to dark true can be really helpful. You can see also now we've added that R logo, but it didn't make it all white. It's actually okay. It shows up pretty decently given the background. But in some cases, again, if you're using an SVG logo, that might be a thing to consider doing. Let me quickly show you the last template. So I'm going to go to New File. This is our Hazelnuts template. Let me knit this. All right, I'm taking a look at the Hazelnuts template now. You can see it's got a cover with an image, make it just a little smaller, with hazelnuts on it. Subtitle, title, author name, date, space for a logo here. There's nothing there by default. You can just add a logo. It's got a table of contents. It does have a blank page here. We're working on getting rid of that. And then your text on here. You're going to notice the text color for the headers as well as this background color is different. That's actually not a bug, that's a feature because you can change that. Let me show you how. So if we want our colors to be identical, I could just set main color, and let me make it the blue. I'll just copy that and I'll change this to secondary color. Knit that. All right, I'm back looking at my report. I'll scroll down and you can see now it is using that blue. All right, got that, perfect. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of Hazelnuts, you'll see that there's actually both a front image as well as a back image. All right, let me add an image to the front cover and a different one to the back cover. So I'm going to do this using front_img, and I've just saved a couple images, so I'll use trees.jpeg for the front, and for the back I'll use avocado.jpg. All right, so looking back at my report, you can see I've got trees on the front, and if I scroll to the bottom, I've got avocados. Another thing you can do if you want to is you can remove the table of contents, so by setting TOC false. So if I go up here, you can see it adds a page with table of contents. You're gonna have to trust me on this one. I'm not gonna knit it, but that will just remove that page for you.